Before I get started, I want to thank Lucky Mountain Games and Curve Digital for sending me an early copy of Hotshot Racing so I could play it early and get my thoughts together before release day. They've also given me 5 keys to give away, so stick around until the end of the video if you're interested in that. With all that being said, I want to stress that no money is changing hands, and these are my honest, unedited opinions. It's that time of the year again. The spring and summer blockbusters have come and gone, but the big fall games are still a few weeks off. Every July, August, and September, indie and middle market games get their time to shine as gamers and content creators alike look to fill their time while waiting for the year's biggest titles. This year, the discussion has been dominated by the likes of Fall Guys, Project Cars 3, and the Tony Hawk Remaster. But among my friends, September's big star is a bit more polygonal. Hotshot Racing is yet another take on the classic arcade racing revival we've seen attempted quite a few times over the past few years. Some of its contemporaries, like Horizon Chase Turbo, use modern graphics with retro aesthetics to evoke nostalgia, while Ansder's excellent Slipstream uses 16-bit style sprites. The thing is that most of these games have looked to imitate the SNES and Genesis era of racers. Horizon Chase plays like Top Gear, and Slipstream is obviously inspired by Outrun. But Hotshot Racing is unique in that it's one of the first modern indie games I've seen that imitates the look of 90s Sega racers, like Daytona USA and Virtua Racing. I've been wanting a driving game in this style for quite some time, and Hotshot Racing knocks it out of the park. It makes sense, because this game's art was in good hands. Lucky Mountain's founder, Trevor Lay, was previously an artist on several projects at Rockstar, including Max Payne 3 and the PSP port of Midnight Club Los Angeles. 2 games with art styles and branding that I've always absolutely loved. Even though Hotshot is in a completely different stylistic lane than Lay's work at Rockstar, I'm nevertheless unsurprised that his talent shines through. The visuals are bright, colorful, and charmingly blocky in the same way that's kept Sega classics like Daytona USA and Virtual On looking distinct after all these years. Something about the bright color palette just works with simple 3D models and unshaded polygons, and Hotshot Racing does a better job emulating this than any other attempt I've ever seen. Lucky Mountain wears this influence on their sleeve too, with tracks that directly reference Daytona USA and what I suspect is a reference to either Cruisin' Exotica or the Aquatica track in Need for Speed 3. The worship of the classics continues in the gameplay department, but surprisingly, the game doesn't play like Virtual Racing or Daytona, or any other Sega racer for that matter. Instead, the game plays like a love child between Burnout and later Ridge Racer games. The drift-heavy handling of the former blended with the boost mechanic and short, closed circuits of the latter. It generally feels good. The game nails that arcade feel where practice makes perfect, not unlike its inspirations. On the topic of track designs, they're okay. That's really the highest praise I can give them. Some of them have pretty interesting set pieces like a T-Rex, a slot machine, or airplane carcasses, but overall there are only 4 environments with 4 variations each, and assets are often reused between them. There are no jumps, no elevation changes, no figure 8s or crossovers, no night races, and honestly not much in the way of obstacles. The 16 tracks don't really have any distinct features that affect how you actually drive on them, and all I can think of is how much this game could have used something like Cape Ring or Special Stage R5 from Gran Turismo. Most cars are genericized versions of real vehicles, and I was particularly impressed by the selection of 90s LM race cars, like the Toyota GT1 or BMW V12 LMR. There are a couple outliers like the Thunder, which is strikingly similar to the Hornet from Daytona USA, or Tyco's Speed Car, an open wheel that looks like a V8-era Formula 1 car. Each car has a large variety of customization parts, and any car can be painted with any unlocked color palette regardless of the character or vehicle it was originally associated with. The 2 bonus modes are fun twists on the standard gameplay formula, but nothing I see myself playing nearly as often as the normal races. I do have some bad news on the multiplayer front. Games like this tend to have basically no multiplayer population shortly after launch, but on PS4, I found only 2 other players on launch day, and I've heard similar stories about the PC version. This could have been an obscure bug, or this could have been my internet connection, but if you're looking to play this game online and you don't have friends who plan to play with you, you might want to hold off a bit and see if they fix this. The general sentiment that I've heard from my friends has been that Hotshot Racing is a fun game, but not one they see themselves spending a massive amount of time with. I agree with that sentiment, but I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. This game is a love letter to arcade racers, a genre of game that is specifically designed to be enjoyed in short bursts and without much of a learning curve. There's plenty of challenge and content here if you want that sort of experience. But to me, where Hotshot shines is in the pick up and play experience, so much so that I wish I had gotten the Switch version instead of PS4. Hotshot's art style is gorgeous, controls are tight, and gameplay is fun. It's genuinely the best of these retro racing revival attempts I've played, and it definitely justifies the $20 price of entry. but thanks to the folks at Lucky Mountain and Curve Digital, 5 of you won't even have to pay that. If you're interested in winning a free PC copy of the game, head over to Twitter and follow me, and then just reply and retweet my giveaway tweet, and make sure you've got your DMs turned on. I'll be randomly drawing 5 lucky winners on Tuesday the 15th.